Let me ask you something, and answer it in your heart, not out loud. Have you ever looked at your life and felt like you're living on a different timeline than everyone around you? Like people your age are, moving forward, building, settling, celebrating, and you're standing still, watching from a distance. You try to explain it, but no one really understands. You try to fit in, but something inside you always pulls you back. And late at night, when the world goes quiet, you feel it even more. That heavy, unexplainable feeling in your chest that whispers, "My life is not meant to look like this." My dear one, what if I told you that this feeling is not confusion? What if I told you it's a mark, a sign that your life was not designed to move with the crowd, but to be guided by Allah in a way most people will never experience? Stay with me, because if you felt different your entire life, this message is not here by accident. Your path was quietly redirected before you ever knew you were walking. My dear one, before you learned how to chase dreams, before you learned how to follow people, before you even understood what this world could offer you, Allah was already placing your steps on a path only He could see clearly. When you were making small choices that felt ordinary, Allah was shaping something much bigger behind them. When you were walking toward things you thought you wanted, Allah was quietly turning you away from things that would have drained your heart, weakened your faith, or changed you into someone you were never meant to become. There were moments when you stood in front of a door and felt certain it would open. You prepared yourself for it. You imagined your life on the other side of it, but it stayed closed, and at the time, it hurt. It made you feel rejected. It made you question your worth, your ability, and even your place in this world. There were people you held close to your heart. You trusted them. You built memories with them. You thought they would walk beside you for a long time. But slowly, without a big fight or a dramatic ending, they drifted away. Conversations became shorter. Presence became distance. And you were left wondering what you did wrong. There were plans you worked hard for. You prayed for them. You put your energy into them. You believed they would finally give your life a sense of direction. Then, without warning, they fell apart. What you thought was your future turned into a lesson instead. At the time, all of this felt like loss. It felt like bad timing. It felt like you were always one step behind everyone else. But my dear one, time has a way of opening your eyes gently. When you look back now, you can start to see what you could not see then. You can see the places you were saved from, the environments that would have changed your character, the relationships that would have slowly pulled your heart away from Allah, the paths that looked good on the surface but were heavy underneath. Allah did not close those doors to punish you. He closed them to protect you. Sometimes guidance does not come as a clear sign in the sky. Sometimes it comes as a quiet interruption, a delay, a redirection that feels uncomfortable in the moment but merciful in the long run. You may have felt like you were being stopped while everyone else was moving forward, but in reality, Allah was turning you towards something better, even if it took longer to reach. And if your life feels different from the people around you, it is not because you were forgotten. It is because your direction was never chosen by the crowd. It was chosen by the one who sees every road, every ending, and every version of you that could exist. You were not wandering without purpose. You were being guided, even when you did not realize you were walking at all. The pain that refused to leave was teaching you how to carry light without breaking. My dear one, there are some pains that visit people and then quietly leave. They pass through like a storm, and after a while, the sky clears. But then there are pains that stay. They sit with you. They follow you from season to season. They become a part of how you see the world. And yours stayed. It stayed when you tried to smile in front of others, but felt heavy inside. It stayed when you lay awake at night, staring into the dark, thinking about things you could not explain to anyone. It stayed in your prayers, in your silence, in the way your heart flinches when you start to trust again. You may have asked Allah, "Why has this not gone away? Why am I still carrying this?" My dear one, some pain is not meant to disappear. Some pain is meant to shape the space inside you where something greater will live. Think of how the earth must be pressed and opened before a seed can be placed inside it. If the ground stays hard and untouched, nothing can grow there. In the same way, a heart that has never been softened by hardship struggles to hold mercy, patience, and deep understanding. Allah allowed weight into your life because He knew your heart could hold more than comfort. He knew you were capable of carrying something deeper. This pain taught you how to be gentle with people who are struggling, even when they hide it well. It taught you how to listen without interrupting, how to notice sadness behind smiles, how to sit with someone without needing to fix them. It taught you humility because you learned how quickly life can change. It taught you patience because you learned how slowly healing can come. It taught you sincerity because you learned how little the world can do for a broken heart. And slowly, without you even realizing it, this pain carved out a space inside you, a space for compassion, a space for understanding, a space for light. Now, when Allah places guidance in your heart, it has somewhere to rest. When He gives you wisdom, it has somewhere to grow. When He brings someone into your life who needs comfort, you already know how to offer it. The pain did not come to destroy you, it came to prepare you. You may still feel its weight sometimes, you may still remember what hurt you, but now you carry it differently. It no longer just wounds you, it softens you, it grounds you, it connects you to others and to Allah in a way that comfort never could. So if you ever wonder why your heart feels deeper than most, why you feel things more strongly than others, why you carry both sadness and mercy at the same time, remember this: you were taught how to carry light by first learning how to survive the dark. Your spirit grows restless in places the world calls success. My dear one, there are moments when you stand in places that look full on the outside but feel empty on the inside. You may have reached something you once wanted. You may have achieved something others admire. You may have found yourself in a position people would call successful. And yet, when you sit with it quietly, your heart feels still, not excited, not satisfied, just still. You might wonder, what is wrong with me? Why am I not happy like everyone else seems to be? But my dear one, listen to this gently. Not every heart was created to be filled by the same things. Some people are satisfied by what they can hold in their hands: titles, money, recognition, attention, and there is nothing wrong with that for them. But you feel a different kind of hunger, a hunger that the world does not know how to feed. You can collect achievements and still feel like something is missing. You can receive praise and still feel unseen. You can reach a goal and still feel like your journey is not finished. This is not because you are ungrateful. It is because your spirit recognizes that what is temporary cannot fully satisfy what was created for the eternal. Think about how a bird feels when it is placed in a beautiful room. The room may be comfortable, it may be safe, it may even be admired by others, but the bird still feels the pull of the sky. It still feels the need for open space, for movement, for something beyond walls. In the same way, your heart feels the pull of something beyond what people usually chase. So when you sit in rooms where everyone is celebrating success, and you feel quiet instead of loud, reflective instead of proud, it is not because you do not belong there, it is because you were not designed to stop there. This restlessness inside you is not a flaw, it is a direction. It gently turns you back toward Allah when you start to forget Him. It reminds you that your worth is not measured by what you own or what you achieve. It calls you to ask deeper questions instead of settling for easy answers. That is why comfort never holds you for too long. That is why ease makes you uneasy. That is why your heart keeps searching, even when everything looks fine on the surface. You were not created to be impressed by what fades. You were created to recognize what lasts. So, if you ever find yourself feeling out of place in the very things people dream of, remember this: your spirit is not lost. It is just pointing you home. Allah removed the noise so your heart could learn the language of His nearness. My dear one, there are seasons in life when everything feels loud. People talk. Opinions surround you. Expectations pull at you from every direction. The world tells you who you should be, what you should chase, how fast you should move, and where you should be by now. And then, suddenly, it becomes quiet. The messages stop coming as often. The invitations slow down. The rooms you once walked into feel farther away. At first, this silence feels heavy. It feels like being forgotten. It feels like standing on the edge of something and not knowing where you belong anymore. You might ask yourself, why am I alone in this? Why does it feel like everyone else is moving forward together while I am standing still? But my dear one, listen to this gently. Not every silence is emptiness. Some silence is space. When Allah removes the noise around you, He is not pushing you away. He is drawing you closer. He is making room for a different kind of conversation, one that does not happen in crowds, but in quiet moments between you and Him. In the quiet, you begin to notice your own thoughts instead of everyone else's opinions. In the quiet, you begin to feel your own heart instead of the pressure to perform. And in that space, you begin to sense Allah's presence in a way that feels personal, not distant. This is where reliance is learned. This is where trust grows roots. This is where your relationship with Allah stops being something you talk about and starts being something you live. When you are surrounded by people, it is easy to lean on them for strength, for direction, for comfort. But when you are alone, you learn how to lean on Allah instead. You learn how to speak to Him without a script. You learn how to sit with Him without asking for anything. You learn how to find peace in simply knowing that He sees you, even when no one else does. And slowly, without you even realizing it, the quiet changes you. You become less reactive and more reflective, less desperate for approval and more anchored in faith, less shaped by the world and more shaped by your connection with Allah. So if you are in a season of silence right now, do not rush to escape it. This is where your heart is learning a language that can only be taught in stillness. This is where closeness is built, not announced. And this is why your life feels different, because your training is happening in the quiet, where only Allah is watching. You feel a future calling you from a place you have never been. My dear one, there is a feeling inside you that is hard to explain. It is not exactly sadness. It is not exactly hope. It is something in between, a quiet sense that your life is not finished being written. You may be living your days, doing what needs to be done, meeting responsibilities, moving through routines. But beneath all of that, there is a soft pull in your heart, a sense that you are walking towards something you cannot yet see. Sometimes this feeling makes you restless. You look at your life and think, is this all there is? Not because you are ungrateful, but because your soul feels like it was made for something deeper than just surviving from one day to the next. You may try to explain this feeling to others, but words fall short. They might tell you to be patient, to be realistic, to settle into what you have, and you nod, because on the surface, their advice makes sense. But inside, the feeling does not go away. My dear one, this is what it feels like when Allah places a sense of direction in your heart before He shows you the destination. He gives you the longing first. He gives you the awareness first. He lets your soul recognize that there is more ahead, even when your eyes cannot see it yet. Think of a traveler who feels the pull of home long before the path becomes clear. They do not know every turn they will take or every place they will pass through, but they know deep inside that where they are now is not where they will remain. In the same way, Your heart feels drawn toward a future version of yourself, someone stronger in faith, clearer in purpose, steadier in trust. You may not know what that life looks like yet, but you can feel that you are being shaped for it. This is why you cannot fully settle into comfort. This is why small dreams feel heavy on your chest. This is why your soul keeps leaning forward, even when your life feels still. You are not chasing an image. You are responding to a calling. And that calling is not always loud. It does not arrive with signs and announcements. Sometimes it is just a quiet whisper in your heart that says, "There is more for you than this moment." So if you ever feel like you are standing in the middle of your life, not lost, but not arrived, remember this: you are not behind. You are not late. You are becoming. And the one who placed that feeling in your heart is walking with you toward what he has already prepared for you. You were not marked for the world's comfort. You were marked for Allah's attention. My dear one, let me tell you something gently, because this truth is not meant to be loud. Not every life is designed to be easy. Not every path is meant to feel smooth. Not every story is written to be admired by people. Some lives are written to be seen by Allah. You may look around and notice how others seem to move forward without carrying the same weight. Their days feel lighter, their choices feel simpler, their roads seem wider and more forgiving. And sometimes you wonder, why does my life feel heavier than most? Why does my heart feel more tested, more stretched, more aware? My dear one, it is not because you were forgotten, it is because you were noticed. Allah does not watch over every soul in the same way. Some hearts are given gentle reminders, others are given deep awakenings. Some are guided quietly, others are guided through experiences that leave marks. You were given the kind of life that teaches you to look up instead of around, the kind of life that reminds you to pray not only when you are afraid, but when you are grateful, the kind of life that makes you search for meaning instead of comfort. Your patience has been seen in moments when no one else knew what you were carrying. Your tears have fallen in places where only Allah could witness them. Your efforts have been made in silence, without applause or recognition. And that is where your closeness has been built. While the world measures success by what people notice, Allah measures it by what is sincere. While the world celebrates what is visible, Allah values what is hidden. So when your path feels narrow, when your heart feels sensitive, when your life feels different, remember this: you were not shaped for the crowd. You were shaped for connection. Your story is not meant to impress people. It is meant to draw you nearer to the one who created you. And one day, you will look back and realize that every delay, every loss, every quiet season, every heavy moment was not pushing you away from Allah. It was pulling you closer. So walk gently with your heart. Trust the hand that has been guiding you all along. And know that being seen by Allah is a greater honor than being celebrated by the world. My dear one, before you leave this moment, let me remind you of something your heart already knows, even when your mind forgets. You were never walking alone, not in your quiet struggles, not in your unanswered prayers, not in the nights when you felt invisible to the world. Every step you took, even the ones that felt uncertain, even the ones that felt backward, were still seen by Allah. If your life feels different, it is not because you were forgotten. It is because you were being guided in a way that cannot be explained, only felt. So do not rush your story. Do not compare your path to anyone else's. Do not measure your worth by what people notice. Some journeys are not meant to be admired. They are meant to be trusted. When you feel tired, remember that being chosen is not always gentle. When you feel alone, remember that closeness to Allah often grows in quiet places. When you feel delayed, remember that what is being prepared for you may need you to become more before it arrives. Walk forward with patience in your heart. Walk forward with faith in your steps. And walk forward knowing that the one who marked your life is still walking with you, even now. You are not behind. You are not lost. You are being led.